Week 10 is here, and I know you're all a little sad. I'm a little sad too. I love Connect Groups. I love it being a part of this experience, which is getting together week after week and getting to know the people around you. Believe me, this doesn't have to stop now. It doesn't have to stop this week. You can see each other at church, sit next to one another, invite people into your community. You can continue to build relationships with one another. So don't see week 10 as the end. Find each other at church. So Tom, our most reading by far. We're sending off the Life with Peter with the most reading we've done so far. So tell us a little bit about the chapter we're about to read. Where's Peter in his life? What's happening?
Yeah, all of Acts chapter 10. It's impossible to take just part of it and still get the gist of the story. So you got to read all of Acts chapter 10. You'll enjoy it. It's a great story. But we find Peter today in Joppa, in the home of Simon the tanner. And great story. Peter gets hungry and he's waiting for lunch, but he goes up on the roof to pray, falls into a trance, has a vision, and God speaks to him in some amazing ways, really rattles Peter's cage. And this really sets the tone for the rest of the New Testament. This sets the tone for the rest of the church age. And very important chapter that I don't think gets the emphasis that it needs in the modern church world.
That's good. So tell us a little bit about, obviously you've already kind of started coming at the one big thing, but tell us a little bit more about the one big thing you see in this chapter.
Well, I think we need to uncover our subconscious prejudices. I think if you asked the average person in the church, do you have prejudices? The answer would be no, but I think we need to uncover and discover whether or not we really do. And they may not be the obvious ones that maybe you would think of. It may not be a racial thing necessarily, but we still can be prejudiced, and I think that can hinder our ministry.
Yeah, this is a topic that I think, especially in today's day and age, is we really struggle to talk about in our society as a whole, not just in the church, but in America as a whole. These ideas of prejudices and race and different things are such a divisive issue. And so as you're talking about these things, I think us being honest about what's really happening inside of us is really an important step in a good direction, especially in regards to Acts 10.
I think you have to identify it if you're going to change it.
Yeah.
Before you can change it, you have to identify it.
Yeah, and that's so true. So along with this, I think one of the things that can help us start to just edge towards this discussion is this icebreaker. As a kid or in your formative years, what was one group of people you were supposed to, or a group of people that you were supposed to avoid as you were growing up? And so, Tom, I think you told a little story about your mom. I think this was a good place to start. Can you just tell us a little bit about...
Yeah, when my mom was a little girl, on her block was an old music hall, big building that they used to do concerts and band performances in. But over the years, it had fallen into disrepair, and the hobos started staying in there. So there'd be these guys that were sleeping in there overnight and kind of living in there, at least for part of the year. And so my dad would always tell my mom when she was coming home from school, don't walk by the old music hall.
Yeah.
So she was supposed to avoid the hobos.
A group of people that she was supposed to... Well, enjoy discussing Acts chapter 10. It is a timely topic in our culture today. Thank you for attending for 10 weeks. For those of you who did that, if you've only been attending half that time, thank you for jumping on board and being involved. We'll see you this fall, starting in September, for our next round of Connect Groups. Have a great summer, and we'll see you in September.